Hi, everyone. Welcome to this session. My name is Jing, and I'm a lead software engineer from Chime machine learning platform team. Today, I'm going to talk about the practice that we do at Chime machine learning platform team on how to generate continuous AI ROI. So before we get started everything, let me just introduce a little background about the team. In 2023, our team is turning into 4 years old. Yes, you heard that. This is a very young and small team, and we are determined to achieve the greatest possible ROI. And there are the things that we believe. We really believe that this team is just a chime where the machine learning excellence and the human excellence they will work together seamlessly to deliver the individualized financial peace of mind for all of our members. Yes, you heard that. This is also the chime's value that we would like to deliver. So here are some major team functions for this team. Our data science experience and orchestration squad is delivering the automated training and one-click deployments, as you will see in the pillar one. And our feature store squad enables a one-stop shop to discover, reuse, build new features for machine learning business policies and models. And you can see that in Score 2. And our serving Scott, they ensure that we have 5 nines availability for thousands of features, billions of predictions with petabillion of payloads. So you will see that our platform right now, it is hosting hundreds of users, hundreds of models and their use cases, and thousands of features. And in the future, this number will go up, and we are gonna still maintain and develop a very reliable platform. And on the fourth pillar, you will see that our observability squad, they bring the real-time monitoring and alerting on data, models, and services to make sure that we are the first class citizen for the real-time monitoring and alerting. So on the fifth pillar, all of the members of our team would work together to ensure that we keep the lights on, no matter it's a raining day or a sunny day. So with this, you probably will see that at the bottom of this slide, it tells about the team values. And the team value is really, really the foundation that is helping us to build a strong team together. So we believe in do, collaborate, fail fast, architect for long run, and most importantly, fun activities and have fun. There are really very fun activities at Chime, and we have very unique Chime things to celebrate often. So we have talked about the missions of the team in the last slide. And next, let's talk about the business problems that our team is helping to solve and how do we model around those business problems. So where do I get started? Let me pretend to be any person that is just interacting with Chime's app. For example, I might be someone that is calling into our phone support agents, and I'm wondering, what am I calling about? Can the machine models predict what I'm calling about? And on another case, Chime is trying to target me with the advertisement that I might be interested in. And what kind of advertisement I will see on those social media or on the Chime app. And in other case, I'm trying to file a disputed transaction. Is my dispute legit or am I just faking it? I could be just a fraudster. And money is being transferred out of my account. Was it me Or was it just imposter? Can Chime really detect that? I'm just curious to learn. And I load the homepage in our Chime app. Let's see. I'm taking a look at my Chime app. I will see if it can show me or have the maximum impact. For example, what I will be shown on the Chime's app, and what kind of features that will just excite me and get me the conversion interest into those features. And the last case, but it's not just limited to those cases that I'm interested in, is that once I log in into the new device, would that me or would that be a fraudster who is trying to steal my credentials? Would Chime catch that fraud activities in real time and sensitive enough to prevent the loss of money? So looks like we have many business problems to solve with machine learning team at Chime. And to summarize, there are about three domain areas of machine learning. And those are also very typical domain areas for a financial institute. So number one, we'll say that is financial fraud, and we are so committed to combat the financial fraud powered with our machine learning muscles. Second, it is the customer experience, and the third, it is marketing growth. So for the financial fraud spaces, we are developing models such as the models used to detect the synthetic account at enrollment and account transfer at the money transfer process and transactions and disputes, suspensions, closure, and so on. And for the customer service, we are developing chatbot and IVR models to assist the best experience of our customers. For the marketing and growth area, we are developing models that would be helping with the acquisition, conversion, churns, long-term values. So those are just different phases during the uh, marketing growth, and we would like to make sure that we are covering the most valuable cases. So those are all the return part in the AI ROI that I'm going to talk about today. So for the returns, we want to make sure that we prioritize the high valued use cases. We also want to improve the utilization of the same model in different business cases. And we would ensure that we fail fast and deprecate the low valued models as soon as possible. So, next, I'm going to talk about the investment part. But before that, I'm going to speak about the inspirations that we are taking to guide us with a wise investment. So, the inspiration is really how to think out of the box. Let's see an example here. So this is the fraud and control report from JP Morgan in 2022. In this report, it says that about 70% of companies continue to be targeted by the fraudsters. And also, it also strongly suggested that the fraud pattern is changing and evolving. The fraudsters are equipped with equally sophisticated technologies as we do. So, with this keep in mind, we are so urged that we would like to effectively combat the fraud, not only with our current robust internal controls, but also we need to think outside of the box and keep up to date on the new technologies. So, so right now, let's land on this page talking about machine learning itself. And previous slides, we talked about the opportunities around machine learning models and the inspirations on the wise investment. So next, we are going to talk about the investment itself. And in this part, we'll say, what is machine learning? Maybe let's talk about it in a highly abstract way. And the motivation to abstract machine learning is that they are usually seen as black boxes because those machine learning models are complex and not transparent to many of the stakeholders. So, as a platform team, we want to provide our products in a generalized way, which is built on abstraction. So, here, let's say after the abstraction is done, we have three major components, which are data, models, and predictions. The abstraction and generalization in designing the machine learning platform would just help us make things more extensible and maintainable. So here is the simplified machine learning workflow. And you can see that when starting with the workflow, we would start to collect the business needs, and then we would extract data from many different sources, and then clean those data and transform those data to make them usable by the machine learning models. And learning models have different life cycles, and those are three typical life cycles. The development phase, the data scientists would develop them in the dev environment, and actually we are building a very interesting environment for the data scientists. So when they're developing the models, they can get access to test the models with the production quality data. That is really good. And the next phase, that is the training phase. And then after the training is done, the test data or the validation data is sending to test the performance of the models. And after the data scientists are satisfied with the model's performance, then they will hand the models to our platform team in an automatic way. And then we're going to deploy the model into production. And the models will just start to make those amazing predictions through sophisticated um, serving methods. So this is not just the end of that prediction or machine learning workflow. During this whole process, you can see there are several steps, highly abstract several steps, and we need to make sure that we are monitoring any many piece or or as critical pieces of the information that we want to look at, and keep optimizing the performance of the models in production. So when you are seeing this workflow, we would like to remind ourselves, and we keep doing so, is that at each major step, we would carefully analyze the investments and the possible wastes on money, time, and engineering resources to get the best ROI. So here we are landed on a page that is telling you the detailed views on the investment that we are making for the entire machine learning lifecycle. So you can see that there are just so many details and sophisticated techniques listed here. And they're not still enough to covering all of our efforts that we are making and all of our investment that we are making. So with so many things listed in here, we would like to talk about the recent initiatives and accomplishments that we are taking to achieve rewarding results. And this is a way on the continuous optimization and the analysis to pick the most rewarding high ROI projects. So you can see that there are different phases. For example, in the featureization phase, we make sure that we got clean data, we got good quality data to start with, and there is good monitoring around the data quality. So we also make sure that we are tagging our infrastructure resources at different phases in a well-controlled, granular way, so we know the cost at different segments. When we are seeing the segments, those segments really mean the models, features, users, and the model life cycles. We really want to get a good visibility in how cost is induced during those different segmented groups. And you will see that for the featuring part, it's the most expensive so far as we analyzed. And feature store is just so complex, and it's building on so many infrastructures, and it is hosting thousands of features. So it is expensive, it is useful, but we want to bring down the cost. So we had a very successful project recently that we re-evaluated and re-engineered feature store and reduced the feature store cost by about 60% in 3 months, which was very impressive. So another thing that I would like to mention is that, and I mentioned in the previous slide, so during the model building process, we want to make sure that our data scientist has best experience. So we built a special exploration environment. We call it exploration because we can do dev work in this environment, but it's not a dev environment because this environment is built in a secured and isolated way that it can access the production quality data. So our data scientists are using those data to build the best quality models that they can. So you can see that during the production phase and during the deployment phase, we also have new initiatives. We launched a new real-time orchestration engine, which greatly improved the deployment velocity. You can see that we embrace the new technologies quickly, and we are only 4 years old this year, and we have already did 2 generations of deployment engines. And last but not least, I would like to mention a piece that we pioneered on, and I would like to dive a little bit more later on, which is a machine learning observability platform that provided real-time monitoring and alerts to data drift and model drift. So you have seen those amazing investments in the last slide. I picked a few highlights. And right now, let me dive a little deeper on one thing that we just did recently, because this thing is work that I'm focusing on. So I would be able to provide with more interesting facts and details. So Chime's machine learning observability platform is built on 3 major components. The first is the drift and data quality detection. This is a new muscle that we recently added into our observability platform. It provides near real-time alerting as well as root cause analysis, which I'm gonna elaborate a little bit more in the next slide as well. And the second one is the model performance metrics such as recall precisions. Those would help us to do a continuous production optimization. The third is the business impact and model ROI. So this would help with the investment pivoting. In this platform, we're building a centralized and role-based access controlled place for all of the stakeholders to monitor machine learning models and their business impacts. So here, as you can see, I highlighted the drift and data quality detection and their capabilities. I would like to call out a little bit in here. This is the latest technologies that we embrace to strengthen our muscles. This drift detection is just so powerful that it could help reveal the data's statistical behavior. So we did many experiments, or we did many investigation on the past instance. We learned that we can just build a handful of drift detectors that would help detect majority of model issues in a very sensitive and accurate way. Those are unlike the performance metrics. Where those performance metrics are just could be latent and hard for the platform engineers to digest. The drift monitors themselves, they're just so actionable for the platform engineers. When I mean actionable, I really mean that there are so many things that we can act on, even as platform engineers who don't know the model details. So, for example, we can integrate those near real-time alerting with our on-call toolings, such as PagerDuty. So we sit in the frontier to detecting the model performance degradation. And we are able to do root cause analysis to know what features we should prioritize on to investigate further or to fix. And our business partners and other stakeholders, they can be alerted at the same time as we do. And our toolings will provide transparency through a very friendly user interface. So they don't end up sitting in the dark for weeks. We can also even trigger the auto return workflow in a targeted and timely manner by using the drift detection. So, with all of those exciting opportunities, we pioneered in the machine learning observability and defined how the high ROI monitor would be for the model performance monitoring. Okay, so let me talk about the journey that we have done on identifying the drift as a high ROI monitor. So let me talk about the highly abstract case here that is based on our past instance. So you can see that on this graph, the middle bar would show you the model daily serving status. Green means the model is serving fine, and red means the model is failing and it's not serving any predictions. So you can see, so this is what happened. On one day, our data scientist noticed that the model failed. And at that time, people start to do investigation. And, and to be frank with this, it's very hard to digest and investigate to see what's going on. People took a lot of time and energy to investigate, and finally, they found there was an upstream data source issue. And when I see this case, we are using our machine learning tooling and also the monitors on Drift to do a retrospective to see what can go wrong, like maybe days or weeks before the model started to fail. So with that, we found that about 2 weeks ago, when the model it was still serving, actually at that time, the model's data, like one of several of the important features, they started to drift unnoticeably, and the model's performance might becoming worse during this time period, and we are losing money. And this just lasted for 2 weeks without anyone noticing that. So 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 this tells us that we should enable the drift detection as a much sensitive way to detect the real issues in the production and give us some insights to see what's going on. So you can see that um, The power of the drift detection was just underestimated in the past, and right now we see the value, and we can also see that what they can provide is that they will have near real-time model performance alerting. This saves the time to detection. They will also help with the fast root cause analysis. This is going to save the time to resolution. Those are just the precious engineering times, not mentioning the frustration that people can have when they are waiting in the dark, not knowing what's going on. So let me conclude my session for today. So we talked about a few approaches for a continuous AI ROI generation. They include the prioritization on the high-value business use cases. And we have to keep open-minded, think out of box, and embrace the new technologies. And we would like to make the design simple, generalized, and highly abstract. And also, we would like to make granular awareness of cost on different segments, such as money, time, and engineering resources. And we would like to optimize the investment to drive this cost down. This is a year for generative AI. The branches of the machine learning applications are growing and evolving, as we are glad that we are establishing the generalized machine learning practice that will allow us easily adapt to those emerging areas. So thank you very much for your time, and please feel free to contact me if you would like to know more about what we do at Chime Machine Learning Platform team. And we are hiring right now, so feel free to reach out. Thank you.